Welcome to the Get Wisdom podcast. And hey, for you folks out there looking for maybe a new way to do life or, trying to figure out how to get unstuck somewhere, or maybe you just need a fresh perspective on your current situation. Well, we're here to help with that. We really believe that getting wisdom, real wisdom, it gives you clear ways forward. You can find out more about our services over at www.getwisdom.cc. I'm Miranda.
And I'm Jay. And today, we're really diving into something pretty foundational. It's a white paper by Brent Zeman. Our goal really, for you listening, is to pull out some truly actionable insights from this. Stuff you can actually use, maybe even starting today.
That's the plan. The title is Understanding the 6 Human Needs That Shape Decisions and Destiny. And it sounds kind of grand, maybe, but it's more than just theory. Think of it like a field guide to what really drives us, often, without us even realizing it.
Exactly. And what's really profound about Brent's framework here, right from the executive summary, is this core idea. It's that every single decision we make, the small ones, the big ones, all of them, they're like paving stones. They literally build our destiny day by day.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. Underneath all those choices, these 6 fundamental human needs are kind of quietly steering the ship. They're directing our attention, our actions, whether we're consciously aware of them or not. They're these dynamic forces always at play, like hidden currents.
And I love Brent Zeman's take on this, his core philosophy. It really flips the script. He says, needs aren't excuses, they're levers. Aim them.
Yeah.
So it's not about saying, oh, I did that because I needed certainty. Like, it's an excuse, right?
No justification.
Exactly. It's more like understanding these incredibly powerful drivers inside us and then choosing, deliberately aiming them. It's about taking the wheel.
It's a huge call to agency, really. Moving from being pushed around by these needs to actively directing them, shaping your inner world to affect your outer world.
Yeah. And to help us do that, the white paper itself, it's structured very intentionally. It's meant to be a practical playbook, like a field manual. The goal isn't just theory. It's about taking these psychological ideas and turning them into clear goals, clear objectives, and what Brent calls these brave tasks.
Brave tasks. I like that.
Yeah, me too. And the point is to make sure we meet these needs in healthy ways, constructive ways, sustainable ways.
Instead of letting them kind of hijack our day or push us into patterns that don't actually serve us, or worse, patterns that are destructive. It's all about being intentional, not just reacting.
And there's this guiding principle, this house maxim that really anchors the whole thing. It's pretty direct. If one fails to fulfill on a task, it's only because they lacked the courage to undertake such a task.
Oof. That lands kind of hard at first, doesn't it?
It does. But it's not meant like a judgment, like you failed. It's more of a prompt, a call to action, really, and some deep self-reflection. It makes you look inward when you stumble. Like, okay, what's really holding me back here? What fear, what resistance is underneath this failure to follow through?
Right. It pushes for that brutal honesty with yourself and shifts the focus, doesn't it? From I can't to maybe I didn't choose to, or I wasn't ready to face the discomfort.
Exactly. It empowers you to choose differently next time.
It really reframes the whole idea of challenges. They're not failures of your ability necessarily, but maybe opportunities to build up that resilience, that inner grit. And if you think about the big picture, this maxim really highlights how critical our mindset is, our internal story. Our willingness to step out of that comfort zone. Often the biggest block isn't out there, it's in here.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit more. Because before we even get into the 6 needs themselves, it's super important to understand the foundation. These operating principles from Get Wisdom, think of these as your compass for living intentionally. They guide how we approach everything, including how we deal with these 6 needs.
That's a really crucial point. These 5 principles, they're not just opening remarks. They're the lens. They're how you interpret and apply this whole framework. Without them, strategies just become tactics without wisdom, right?
These make sense. They set the stage.
Okay.
So principle 1, discovery over certainty. Treat each day as data, not a verdict. This feels liberating. What does it actually mean in the messy day-to-day?
It's a huge shift in perspective. What's really powerful here is it encourages us to let go of needing the answer, the absolute certainty, especially when things are new or tough. Instead of seeing a day's results, good or bad, as like the final word on you or your abilities.
Yeah, like a grade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead, you see it as data, just valuable information in this ongoing experiment of your life. Think like a scientist, right? An experiment doesn't fail. It just gives you results.
Okay.
Results that tell you what to try next. So this fosters constant learning, constant tweaking. If something bombs, it's not a failure to beat yourself up over. It's intel. Adjust the plan, try again.
Right.
And that's so vital for actual growth, for navigating life's bumps.
Yeah.
It helps you avoid that trap of thinking you know it all, or the flip side, getting paralyzed by perfectionism. You just keep moving, keep learning.
That takes so much pressure off. Wow. Okay. No more needing to be perfect. Just focus on learning and adapting. Got it. Okay. Principle 2. Intention over optics. Results of performance theater. This one feels particularly relevant today, doesn't it, with social media and everything. Results over performance theater.
Oh, absolutely. This hits right at the core of genuine impact versus just looking busy. It's about prioritizing real outcomes, actual results, over just seeming productive or successful. You see it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
That pressure to project this image of constant hustle, the perfect Instagram feed, the back-to-back meetings that don't actually lead anywhere.
A busy work.
Exactly. Performance theater. And it's exhausting. And often leads to just superficial stuff, maybe even feeling empty underneath it all. So this principle is like an antidote to chasing external validation. It pulls your focus back to what really moves the needle: tangible outcomes, measurable impact, real quiet progress. The question becomes, are you actually getting stuff done or just putting on a show?
Substance over showmanship. Actually doing the work that matters.
Okay.
Then principle 3. Transformation over rearrangement. Remove what doesn't serve. Don't just shuffle clutter. This one feels sharper, more demanding, maybe.
It cuts deep, yeah. Because it tackles this really common human habit. We tend to just move problems around, make things look a bit tidier on the surface without dealing with the root cause.
Like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Or think about tidying a super cluttered room versus actually decluttering it.
Yeah.
Rearranging looks better for a minute, maybe, but the core problem, too much stuff you don't need is still there.
Right.
Transformation, though, that's deeper. It's about identifying what truly doesn't serve your goals, your values, your well-being, and then having the courage, there's that word again, the courage to actually remove it, get rid of it. It forces a real self-audit.
Yeah.
It pushes for true, lasting change, not just shuffling the clutter. It's about pruning, simplifying, making space.
I like that phrasing. Remove what doesn't serve.
Yeah.
Very clear. Okay, number 4. Rhetoric shapes reality. Words aim attention. Attention drives action. The power of words. This feels huge.
It's absolutely foundational.
Yeah.
How we talk to ourselves, that inner monologue, stories we repeat, the limiting beliefs, and the language we use out loud. It all acts like a steering wheel for our attention. And wherever your attention goes, like a spotlight, that's where your energy flows and your actions follow. It's almost inevitable.
So if you're always saying, I can't, or this is too hard,
Your spotlight points at the obstacles, the limitations, and guess what? You probably won't act, or you'll self-sabotage. But if you consciously use language that frames possibilities, solutions, your own agency.
like I choose to, or how can I?
Exactly. Your attention shifts. Your actions become more proactive, more creative. This principle is the bedrock for the rhetoric guardrail we'll get into later. It highlights just how vital it is to be mindful of our words. They're literally creating our reality.
Wow. Okay, so words aren't just descriptions, they're directives. They shape things. Got it. And finally, principle 5. Consistency beats intensity. Small, boring, repeated. This feels grounding, almost countercultural in a world obsessed with dramatic breakthroughs.
It's such an elegant truth, isn't it? And so often missed when we're chasing quick fixes. Yeah, those intense bursts of effort, they might look impressive short term, but they're usually not sustainable. They often lead straight to burnout.
We've all been there.
Totally. This principle, though, it champions the long game, the power of sustained, consistent effort, even if it feels small or boring day to day. Think about learning an instrument or getting fit or saving money. It's not one heroic workout or one massive deposit. It's the small, almost invisible actions done over and over again. Those small, boring, repeated things. They're the quiet architects of big, lasting change. They avoid burnout, build real momentum. It's the steady drip that wears away the stone, right? Not the sudden flood.
Beautifully put. That steady, quiet momentum. Okay, so with these 5 operating principles as our compass, what does this all mean for you listening right now? Let's dig into each of these 6 human needs. Really understand what they want, when they help us, and yeah, crucially, when they can actually mess things up if we're not careful.
This is where it gets really practical, because understanding these needs gives you the map. It allows you to consciously meet them in healthy ways, and just as vital, stop them from, as the paper says, hijacking your day. When these needs are just running on autopilot, unacknowledged, they become these unconscious drivers pushing us towards stuff that, well, often doesn't work out well for us. It's about taking back control.
All right, let's start with number 1. Need 1. Certainty. That fundamental desire for safety, predictability, stability, feeling secure, knowing what's coming. Our anchor.
Yeah, and when certainty is working for us, in a healthy way, it looks like things we recognize, like setting up routines that give our day structure, or making really clear agreements in work or relationships so there's trust, less confusion, even practical stuff like having a financial buffer that
Yeah.
gives you a sense of security, right, against the unexpected. These are the solid foundations we need to operate calmly, effectively.
But here's the tricky part, right? How can something good, like certainty, become a problem when it gets overdriven?
That's the paradox. When it gets overdriven, it can turn into that control freakery thing,
Hmm.
needing to manage every tiny detail, stifling others, stifling creativity.
Yeah.
Or it shows up as this massive avoidance of any kind of useful risk, the kind of calculated risk that actually helps you grow, innovate, grab opportunities.
Mhm.
But the need for certainty is so strong, you just stay put, locked in your safe zone.
Like building fortress walls so high you can never actually leave.
Exactly. The fear paralyzes you. So for the clean tasks today to meet this need healthily, the paper suggests something really simple but smart. One idea. Confirm one agreement in writing. Nail it down. Reduces ambiguity, solidifies a boundary.
Okay.
Another one, even simpler. Stage tomorrow's first motion. Lay out your clothes. Prep the coffee maker. Open the file you need first thing. Tiny acts that give you a sense of predictable control, but without being rigid. Little bits of self-authorship.
Love that. Okay, need to. This feels like the opposite. Uncertainty or variety. Our need for novelty, change, surprise, stimulation. We crave the unexpected too, don't we? Too much sameness gets boring.
We absolutely do. It's the spice of life, right? So healthy uncertainty looks like engaging in planned experiments, trying new ways of practicing a skill, new reps, or maybe using playful constraints to spark creativity, like try cooking with only 5 ingredients or brainstorm ideas in only 10 minutes. It introduces novelty, discovery, but in a contained way, controlled exploration.
But the overdriven state, that's where it gets messy.
Yeah. Overdriven uncertainty can look like just leaning into chaos, making impulsive decisions without thinking them through, or
Right.
that classic shiny object addiction.
Oh yeah, chasing the next new thing.
Constantly, never sticking with anything long enough for it to actually develop or pay off. It's all chase, no completion.
Been there. So how do we meet this need cleanly?
Precision is key here. The paper suggests run one small experiment with a clear finish line. That last part is crucial. It could be tiny. Try a new route to work today. Use a different software feature for 15 minutes. Try that new cafe this morning. The clear finish line means it's contained. You get your novelty hit, maybe learn something, then you're back to your stable base, not just boundless distraction.
Got it. Small, contained exploration. Okay, need 3. Significance. This feels deep, that desire to matter, feel valued, have an impact, feel capable. To know our presence makes a difference.
It's fundamental. And
Yeah.
healthy significance, it's earned through real merit, real contribution. Things like achieving mastery in a skill through sheer hard work, delivering excellent service that genuinely helps people, earning more responsibility because you've proven you're competent and reliable.
Right.
These are ways we contribute authentically, show our value through action, earn respect. It's about becoming valued because of what you can do.
But the dark side, the overdriven significance.
Yeah, unfortunately, that can look like dominating others to feel powerful, or creating drama just to get attention, or that performance theater we talked about where the show, the appearance of importance, matters more than actual substance or helping anyone.
Which raises that tough question. Are we earning significance or just demanding attention?
It's a critical distinction to make, yeah, and often uncomfortable to look at, honestly. So for a clean task today to build healthy significance, the paper suggests something really grounded. Ship one artifact that makes someone else's job easier.
An artifact? Like what?
Could be anything tangible, really. Create a simple template your team can reuse. Document a confusing process clearly. Share a really useful link or resource that saves someone time or hassle. It's about quiet, useful service that earns genuine respect. Rather than shouting, "Look at me," it shifts the focus to, "How can I help?"
I like that. Service over self-promotion. Okay, need 4. Love and connection. This is all about relationships, right? Belonging, feeling seen, accepted. The human glue.
Absolutely. Healthy, loving connection means cultivating really candid, honest relationships where there's trust, transparency, mutual respect. It means actively participating in your community, whatever that looks like for you, and just being a reliable, supportive presence for people. Reciprocal, authentic connection.
But when it's overdriven, that's where things like people-pleasing come in.
Exactly. Constant people-pleasing,
Yeah.
trying to be whoever you think others want you to be just to get approval. Or the opposite side of that coin, having boundary leaks.
Boundary leaks.
Yeah, where your own limits, your own needs just erode
Yeah.
because you're so afraid of rejection or conflict. You sacrifice your own well-being or integrity just to feel connected or liked. It's connection at the cost of self.
That's a high price. So the clean task for today.
It's a neat two-parter. Send one specific thank you and make one honest request.
Ooh, both gratitude and vulnerability.
Precisely. They're both powerful builders of real connection. A specific thank you shows you truly see and appreciate someone. Not just thanks, but thank you for specifically doing X. It really helped me because Y.
Yeah, that feels different.
And an honest request, stated clearly. That shows trust. It invites real give and take. It allows others to show up for you authentically. Both actions deepen the connection.
Powerful combo. Okay, need 5. Growth. Our internal engine, right? That drive to learn, improve, develop skills, expand our understanding, to evolve.
It's innate and healthy growth. That looks like consistent, deliberate practice, not just going through the motions, but focused effort aimed at getting better at something specific. It also means actively seeking out feedback loops, asking trusted people, how can I improve this? And then really listening. And it involves consistent reflection, looking back on experiences, figuring out the lessons, integrating them. It's a conscious cycle of improvement.
The overdriven state, though, you mentioned the never enough treadmill.
Yeah. That's where you're constantly learning, consuming information, taking courses, reading books.
Yeah.
But you never actually apply it. Never ship anything based on it.
Learning without shipping.
Exactly. It feels productive, right? You're learning. But nothing tangible comes out of it.
Yeah.
It's like collecting tools but never building anything. Intellectual hoarding, maybe?
Yeah.
You avoid the risk of actually trying and maybe failing.
So how do we break that cycle? The clean task.
Tie the learning to action. The suggestion is 25 minutes of focused practice tied to a specific objective. And then this is keylog, what you discovered. So you're practicing for something. And then you're creating a mini artifact, your log entry, reflecting on what you learned or where you struggled. It forces application and documentation, turns passive intake into active creation.
Makes sense. Turns learning into doing.
Okay, finally, need 6, contribution. Moving beyond ourselves, giving back, impacting the world, creating value for something larger, legacy almost.
Many see it as the pinnacle, yeah. Healthy contribution looks like mentoring others, genuine acts of generosity, not for show, creating useful things, art, tools, ideas that benefit lots of people, not just you. It's about making a positive ripple effect. Understanding your well-being is tied to the collective.
And the overdriven state, martyrdom, that's a big one. Sacrificing yourself to an unhealthy degree, neglecting your own needs, your own health, in the name of giving. Believing self-care is selfish when you're trying to contribute. But as we know, you can't pour from an empty cup. Contribution without self-care isn't sustainable. It leads to burnout, resentment, and ultimately, you can't help anyone effectively anyway.
Right. So the clean task for contribution.
Help one person in a way that scales. That's the crucial part.
Scales.
Meaning, your effort has a broader impact than just that one interaction. Share a resource that many can use, provide a template others can adapt, make an introduction that benefits both parties. It's about leverage, creating a ripple effect without depleting yourself entirely. Smart generosity.
Okay, so we've unpacked all 6 needs, healthy, overdriven, clean tasks. But you said earlier, they don't exist in isolation. They interact, create trade-offs. That sounds like where the real complexity comes in.
It is. That's the nuance, exactly. They're not separate boxes. They're interconnected, sometimes pulling against each other. Understanding these dynamics, these pairings and tensions, is key to actually mastering them. Finding that balance, ignoring this, is where you get tripped up.
Let's look at the big pairings. First, certainty versus uncertainty, stability versus novelty. How do these opposites work together productively? Too much of either seems bad.
It's the classic balancing act, right? Everyone feels this tension. The paper points out that certainty, that stability, it builds trust in our routines, our plans. But uncertainty, variety, that's what fuels growth. It pushes us to adapt, learn, innovate.
So you need both.
You absolutely need both. Too much certainty, stagnation, boredom, fear of anything new. Too much uncertainty, anxiety, overwhelm, chaos, no rudder. The advice is brilliant. Plan experiments inside reliable routines.
Okay, break that down.
It means you intentionally build a solid foundation of certainty. Your routines, your stable structures, that becomes your safe harbor. From that safe harbor, you then deliberately plan small, contained explorations, the experiments. You embrace a bit of novelty, but within a structure that keeps you grounded.
So the routine is the safety net for the adventure.
Perfectly put. It's intelligent risk-taking. You're anchored, but you're still exploring, not just drifting aimlessly.
That makes so much sense. Okay, next pairing. Significance versus love and connection. Being valued as an individual versus belonging with others. That tension feels really familiar too.
Oh yeah, it's a core human dilemma, especially in cultures that really emphasize individual achievement. How do you balance wanting to be seen as important, competent, influential, with that equally strong need for deep, authentic connection and belonging?
Because sometimes chasing significance can push people away, right?
Yeah,
If it becomes about dominating or always needing to be right.
exactly. Or the flip side, seeking connection by totally erasing yourself,
Yeah.
becoming a people pleaser with no opinions or needs of your own.
So what's the solution here? How do you balance them?
The paper offers something really transformative. Earn significance by serving connection.
Okay, unpack that.
It means your real, lasting significance doesn't come from trying to be the star, demanding applause. It comes from how effectively you contribute to connection, how you uplift others, make them feel seen, help your team or community thrive. When you serve connection genuinely, significance becomes an organic byproduct. It's respect earned through contribution, not chased through ego. It shifts significance from being a solo performance to a relational outcome.
Wow, that completely reframes it. Earn significance by serving connection. Powerful. Okay, last pairing, growth and contribution. How do these two work together? This one feels less like a tension, maybe more synergistic.
It is beautifully synergistic. They fuel each other in a really positive loop. The more you grow, learn, develop skills, expand your understanding, the better equipped you are to contribute meaningfully.
Right. Hard to mentor someone if you haven't learned anything yourself.
Exactly. And conversely, when you do contribute, when you try to help or teach or build something for others, you inevitably discover areas where you need to grow more. Or you find a deeper sense of purpose that motivates you to keep learning.
So growth fuels contribution, and contribution gives growth purpose and direction.
Precisely. It's a powerful upward spiral. Your personal development serves a greater good, and serving that greater good pushes your personal development forward.
Okay, understanding these interactions is huge. Now, bringing it back to you, the listener, how do these needs feel for you today? Right now, the white paper has this quick audit, like a pulse check.
Yeah, and it's not about deep analysis, just a snapshot of your current internal landscape, what feels most important or most out of whack right now. The process is simple. Just rate each need, 1 to 5, for importance today.
So if things feel chaotic, maybe certainty is a 5. If you feel stuck in a rut, uncertainty gets a 5.
Exactly, just a quick gut check. It brings immediate clarity.
And then the crucial next step, connecting it back to rhetoric. You formulate one sentence of clean rhetoric for how you'll meet that highly rated need today.
Right, turning that awareness into an actionable intention, using language that empowers.
Yeah.
The paper gives templates, which are super helpful.
Can you give us those again quickly?
Sure. For certainty, it might be. Today, I will create certainty by confirming my meeting schedule for tomorrow. For uncertainty, today I will create variety by listening to a different genre of music during my commute. For significance, today I will earn significance by completing that report accurately and ahead of schedule. For love and connection, today I will strengthen connection by sending a quick check-in text to a friend I haven't spoken to recently. For growth, today I will advance growth by reading one chapter of that industry book. And for contribution, today I will contribute by offering constructive feedback during the team meeting.
See how specific and action-oriented those are.
Very concrete.
And remember, this isn't judgment. It's not another thing to beat yourself up about. It's just a starting point for intentionality. A tool to notice what's up and proactively choose your response, rather than being unconsciously yanked around by these needs.
And that proactive choice, that deliberate use of language and action, that's the steering wheel. That's how you guide your life.
Okay, so that's the daily pulse check. But the white paper also offers something for the longer view, the objectives architecture. This sounds more strategic.
It is. This moves beyond the daily reactions to building a deliberate longer-term plan. It's about choosing where to focus your energy strategically to create significant change over time, like building an actual structure for your intentions.
So how does it work? How do you choose where to focus and set objectives that aren't just vague wishes?
The advice is really focused. Choose just 2-3 primary needs to emphasize for the next 30 days.
Only 2 or 3. Why limit it?
Because Trying to overhaul all 6 at once, that's classic overwhelm territory. You spread yourself too thin, nothing gets real traction. It's like trying to water 6 different plants with only one small watering. Can none of them really thrive?
Right. Makes sense.
By focusing on just 2 or 3, you concentrate your energy. You can set clear benchmarks, track progress meaningfully, and actually achieve noticeable shifts in those specific areas. It's deep work on the critical few, not shallow paddling across the many. That's where breakthroughs happen.
Okay, focus is key. Can you give us those concrete examples again of what a 30-day objective might look like? Let's start with certainty.
Sure. A good, measurable certainty objective might be Objective A, 30 days, certainty. Start work by 8:30 a.m. with a staged first task prepared the night before on 20 out of the next 30 days. Maintain a 4.0 or higher daily stability rating. Track daily.
See, that's super specific. 8:30 a.m. stage task, 20 out of 30 days. Trackable rating, you know exactly if you're hitting it or not.
No ambiguity. It directly targets predictability and structure. Okay, how about growth?
A growth objective could be Objective B, 30 days growth. Complete 12 25-minute deliberate practice blocks focused on improving presentation skills. Publish 4 brief weekly reflections summarizing key learnings and challenges encountered during practice.
Again, super measurable. 12 blocks, 25 minutes each. Specific 4 reflections published. It combines the doing practice with the integrating reflection, making the learning concrete and accountable.
And one more for contribution.
How about Objective C, 30 days, contribution. Ship 4 reusable artifacts like templates, checklists, or short how-to guides that demonstrably reduce friction or save time for my team, evidenced by positive feedback or adoption.
Love the reusable part. And demonstrably help. It focuses on tangible, scalable impact, not just effort, but results for others.
Exactly. So these objectives, they become those paving stones toward intention. Each one is a concrete step, deliberately chosen, moving you forward with clear markers of progress.
Turning vague hopes into a real plan. Okay, so we have the framework, the long-term objectives, but the million-dollar question is, how do you actually do it, day in, day out? The white paper gives us that daily task plan, right? And some guardrails.
Yes, and the daily plan is designed to be lean, not another heavy burden. It's about embedding these powerful moments of focus into your existing rhythm, strategic bursts of intentionality.
Okay, break it down. First thing, morning, 3 minutes. What happens then?
You write down today's core intention, like a 1-sentence mission for the day, plus your top 3 tasks, specifically linked to the 2-3 needs you're focusing on in your 30-day objectives. Brevity is key. Not a giant list, just the vital few for those needs today. It primes your focus right away.
Okay, quick and targeted. Then midday. Just 60 seconds. What's the drill here?
This is your course correction moment. If you feel yourself drifting, losing focus, getting overwhelmed, procrastinating, you run a quick control map.
Control map.
Yeah, you mentally or quickly jot down, categorize whatever's bugging you. What part can I control? What can I influence? What is totally uncontrollable? Just sorting it out brings clarity. Then, based on that, you write down one brave task, the single most useful action you can take right now from the controller influence list.
So it cuts through the overwhelm and identifies the next best step.
Exactly. It pulls you out of helplessness or spinning your wheels on stuff you can't change and points you to immediate productive action. Powerful recalibration.
Got it. And finally, evening. 3 minutes. Wrapping up the day.
Yep. Log evidence. Briefly note what you actually shipped or accomplished related to your tasks. Could be a link, a short description. And write one line of discovery. What did you learn today? What insight came up? This isn't just about checking boxes. It's tracking progress, acknowledging wins, however small, and capturing lessons learned. And crucially, there's advice for stalled tasks.
Right, the courage check again.
Exactly. If a task stalls, revisit courage. Have the dose and execute now. Don't just let it slide. Make it smaller, make it less intimidating, and do something right now. Build momentum. Don't break the chain.
Love how practical that is. Okay, now let's talk about that rhetoric guardrail. This ties back to rhetoric shapes reality. How does this work day to day?
It's about actively managing your language because words steer your life. It involves consciously retiring certain disempowering phrases and replacing them with empowering ones.
So what phrases absolutely need to go? What should we retire?
The big culprits are, I have to. It's just how I am and when I feel like it.
Why are those so bad?
Well, I have to. Makes you feel like a victim, removes choice. It's just how I am, locks you into a fixed mindset, denies growth. And when I feel like it, gives all your power away to fleeting moods. They all subtly sabotage your agency and keep you stuck.
Okay, so those are out. what do we replace with to take back control?
The replacements are powerful. I choose to. Today's task is, and evidence I'll ship by 5 p. meter is.
Ah, see the difference?
Huge difference. I choose to reclaims agency instantly. Today's task is direct, action-focused. And evidence I'll ship by 5 p. meter is creates concrete accountability, a clear output, and a deadline. It forces clarity and completion.
The core message really is your rhetoric is your steering wheel. Choose your words, choose your direction. Amazing.
It's incredibly powerful when you start paying attention to it.
And to keep track of all this, there's the 6 Needs Alignment Index, a daily tracking tool.
Yeah, a simple way to get objective data on how you're doing. You just rate each need 1 to 5 based on how well you actually met it with clean tasks that day. Then track a rolling 7-day average.
So you can see patterns over time.
Exactly. See where you're consistently strong and where you might be neglecting a need without realizing it. It provides ongoing awareness and accountability without judgment.
What specifically are we rating for each need? How do you rate, say, love and connection?
Good question. For certainty, you rate if you honored routines, agreements, staging tasks. For uncertainty, did you execute planned experiments with finish lines? For significance, was it earned through useful artifacts, not just performance? For love and connection, did you maintain it via specific reach-outs and holding boundaries? For growth, did you advance through focus, practice, and reflection? And for contribution, did you deliver help that scales?
So it's tied directly back to those healthy expressions and clean tasks.
Precisely. It keeps the focus on action and tangible evidence.
And the benchmarks help interpret the scores. 3.0 fragile, 3.0 4.0 functional, 4.0 aligned.
Yeah, those give you a quick read. Are things fragile right now? Just functional or really aligned? It turns those daily ratings into actionable insight. Helps you see where to adjust your focus or effort.
Okay, this system is incredibly thorough. Framework, objectives, daily plan, rhetoric, tracking. But life throws curveballs. What happens when you hit obstacles? The paper has obstacles and antidotes, right?
Yes, and these are super practical, direct fixes for those common ways we get derailed, like little emergency patches.
Let's run through them. If you're stuck in over-certainty being too rigid, afraid of change.
Antidote. Schedule one tiny experiment today, 10 minutes, clear finish line, just a small dose of healthy uncertainty to gently loosen the grip of rigidity. Low stakes, high impact.
Okay, opposite problem. Over variety, just chaos, no focus.
Antidote. Install one anchor routine and protect it for a week. Create one non-negotiable point of stability in the storm. Anchor yourself first, then deal with the variety.
What about constant approval chasing? That need for validation driving everything.
Antidote. Replace with service. Ship one artifact that reduces someone's friction. Shift focus from getting praise to giving value. Earn significance through contribution, not applause.
And that frustrating learning without shipping loop.
Antidote. Tie growth to an artifact in a due time. Force the application. Create something tangible. Set a deadline. Turn learning into output.
And finally, slipping into martyr mode, sacrificing yourself on the altar of contribution.
Antidote. Set a boundary. Choose one contribution that scales without burning you out. Protect your energy. Make your giving sustainable and leveraged. You can't help anyone if you're depleted.
These are great, like little course corrections readily available. Okay, thinking longer term again, beyond just overcoming daily hurdles. There's the 30-60-90 objective roadmap for scaling progress.
Yeah, this provides a structured path for deepening your mastery over 3 months. It's a phased approach to sustained transformation.
Phase 1, days 0-30 install. What's the focus?
This is about laying the foundation. You pick 2-3 needs, set 3 objectives, consistently run the daily task plan, and diligently track the alignment index. It's all about embedding the core system and building the initial habits. Get the engine running.
Phase 2, days 31-60 tighten. What happens here?
Now you refine and optimize. You adjust objectives using data from month 1, making smarter choices based on what worked or didn't. You intentionally add 1 experiment per week to build adaptability. And you publish weekly reflections to deepen learning and accountability. It's about data-driven improvement.
And phase 3, days 61-90 scale. This sounds like where it really integrates.
Exactly. You move towards making it sustainable and effortless. Automate reminders, templatize recurring tasks, streamline the system. Crucially, you teach the model to appear, which profoundly solidifies your own understanding. And you celebrate visible transformations, focusing on real, tangible, positive changes, not just looking busy. It's about mastery and integration.
And to make all this easier, the paper includes templates tools you can just grab and use.
Yep, ready-to-go tools to remove friction for setting a sharp objective. By date, achieve metric for need and context, evidenced by artifact. Super clear structure.
And the daily card template for the morning?
Guide your focus. Intention task 1, need. Task 2, need. Task 3, need. Quick, focused, links action to needs.
And that quick reflection tool, the AAR one in it.
Stands for After Action Review. Template is Event Lesson 1 line. Next brave task, due date, artifact. Captures learning, forces a next step, creates evidence. Super efficient.
These templates make it so much less daunting to actually start implementing this stuff. Okay, as people are thinking about this, some common questions probably pop up. The FAQ section addresses these.
It does, tackling those potential mental roadblocks head on.
Yeah.
It's good to clear these up.
Okay, first common one, Q. Can one need dominate forever? Like if I always need certainty, am I stuck with that?
The pragmatic answer. It will try. Keep a portfolio, emphasize 2-3 now, rotate later, and watch the index. It acknowledges that needs fluctuate. One might feel dominant now, but the healthy approach is dynamic. Focus on a few, track your index, and be ready to shift focus as your needs or circumstances change. It's about balance over time, not getting locked in.
Makes sense. Okay, next, Q. What if I don't fulfill a task? We all slip up. What then?
Back to courage, the answer. Courage check, have the dose. Execute today, link the artifact. Don't give up. Don't beat yourself up. Just make the task smaller, less intimidating, and do something now. Get back on track immediately, even if it's a tiny step. Progress over perfection.
And the big skepticism question, Q. Isn't this just willpower, relying on finite mental energy?
And the answer is crucial. No, this is alignment. Systems beat moods. Your rhetoric and calendar prove it. This isn't about gritting your teeth harder. It's about building a robust system. The routines, the objectives, the rhetoric, the tracking that supports consistent action regardless of your fleeting moods or motivation levels. The system carries you when willpower dips. It's structure, not just struggle.
That distinction is everything. It's about building scaffolding, not just trying harder.
Exactly.
Which leads beautifully into the final core message from Brent Seaman's white paper.
Yeah, it really sums it all up. The 6 needs aren't enemies, they're levers. Aim them with intention, meet them with clean tasks, and let consistent evidence shape a destiny you'd actually choose.
Wow. Such a powerful call to agency. Be the architect, not just the observer of your life. Use these powerful forces deliberately.
Puts the steering wheel firmly back in your hands.
It really does. So, a final thought for you, listening right now. Instead of feeling pushed around by these needs or just reacting to life, you can actively shape your path. Maybe just reflect for a moment. Which of these 6 needs feels most out of balance for you today? Which one is calling loudest? Just pick one. And then think of one small, clean task using that empowering rhetoric that you could do today to aim that lever intentionally. Just one small step towards sculpting the destiny you truly want.
Understanding these 6 human needs, as Brent Seaman lays them out, it really is an invaluable map for taking conscious control. Control of your decisions, and ultimately the direction of your life.
Absolutely. We've covered a lot today. The principles, the needs, the interactions, the daily plan, the roadmap. We really hope these insights feel actionable for you, that they empower you to make those deliberate, courageous choices.
And if you want to go deeper or connect directly with Brent Seaman for more guidance, you can reach him at 972-301-2878. That's 972-301-2878. Or via email at getwisdomprinciple@gmail.com.
And please do check out our sponsors. They make this all possible. You can find them at www.getwisdom.cc sponsors.
We really appreciate you tuning in and taking this deep dive with us.
We thank you for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on the Get Wisdom podcast.